So I decided to talk about childbirth and labor today. I just found out my little cousin's having another baby. I'm very happy for her. She's a total sweetheart, and so is her baby daddy. So I'm very excited for them. I'm glad it's not me because I don't want another one. I've had three. I'm done. I have grandkids and they wear me out. So I wanted to tell you a little story about my first daughter. And then we're going to go on to part 2 of my twins that I had. Because I like to overachieve. So we were 2 weeks late. I held her for 42 weeks. And I don't know why. I mean, I'm not trying to overachieve. I don't need like a bigger baby. I just need a healthy baby. And I was only 20, so of course I was scared to death. And her baby daddy was in Germany in the army, so he didn't want to waste his vacation to come home and see the birth of a daughter because he wanted a son. So let me just tell you boys, you're the one that shoots the X or the Y chromosome in. So you shot the wrong chromosome and I got a daughter. Boing! Anyways, we go have this King Henry VIII meal. And it was good. It was so good. I ate till like I really thought I was going to die. And after we ate, my mom was like, let's go to Kmart because we could pick out a dress for her to come home in. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Appease the mom, whatever. So I go down there. About 10 minutes into it, we're looking at dresses. And all of a sudden, I'm on the floor like I'm taking a nap. Except I'm not taking a nap. I'm in labor in Kmart. In Kmart. How much classier can you get unless it was a Piggly Wiggly? Okay, so my mom's like, get up. And I'm like, I can't. And she adopted me, so she doesn't know what labor pains are like. But they are not fun. I think I would rather have a colonoscopy with no anesthesia. Because labor pains suck the big one. And she got me into the car. She got me home. Luckily, that classy Kmart was only 5 minutes down the road. And we got to the house. My dad's in his pajamas, bless his heart. And he's like, well, call me if anything happens. And she's like, she's in labor. Get your clothes on. And I didn't have anybody to go in with me. So I was scared to death because my mom faints at the sight of blood on like the television, let alone in real life. So I wanted my dad in there with me, and he was like, I don't feel comfortable. And I'm like, oh, great. So I'm doing this by myself. So they asked me, what's the last time you ate? And I said, well, I ate at 8 o'clock. And they said, oh. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? So the next thing I know, I'm crucified like Jesus Christ himself with both arms out, tied down. I don't know where my legs were because they had a sheet up, so I don't know where they were. And I was like, okay, cool. And they were like, you might feel a little pressure. And I'm like, by now, I don't care if you pull her out of my earlobe. Get her out. Tricycle and all. She was 10 pounds. 10 pounds. I weighed 125 pounds when I had her. I lost 30 pounds when I left the hospital. She was the only girl born that night. And no, this little shit couldn't wait 8 more minutes to get me another day in the hospital. Plus, she kicked a hole in my stomach, which gave me an umbilical hernia. And that's that. Oh, and I threw up all over myself because I was like going through an exorcism or something, and I had nowhere else to barf but on my own arm, and it was glorious. So I suggest all you new mothers, get as many drugs as you can. Get a take-home doggy bag of drugs, because I would have. Epidurals should be mandatory for every woman who's had a baby every month. Just one day a month, you should take an epidural and lay in bed and rest. That's all you need to do. It's it. That's just how I feel. Okay, part 2 is coming up next. Bye.